Have you ever felt caught in a relentless cycle, pushing yourself to an impossible standard only to feel inadequate or exhausted, no matter how much you achieve? That persistent whisper in your mind telling you nothing is ever quite good enough? While striving for excellence can be a powerful motivator, there's a crucial difference between healthy ambition and the often debilitating grip of perfectionism. Today, we're going to explore how to hit the reset button on that pursuit of flawlessness, offering a practical guide to reclaiming your peace and productivity. Perfectionism isn't just about wanting things to be good. It's a relentless, often self-critical pursuit of unattainable goals, where your sense of self-worth becomes deeply entangled with your performance. It's a burden that, despite sustained effort, frequently leads to stress, anxiety, burnout, and even procrastination. In this episode, we'll unpack what perfectionism truly is, why it's becoming increasingly prevalent, and most importantly, equip you with concrete, actionable strategies to navigate away from its demanding path. Think of this as your practical guide to finding freedom from the tyranny of perfect. To tackle perfectionism, we first need to understand its many faces. Psychologists Paul Hewitt and Gordon Flett have identified three main types. First, there's self-oriented perfectionism, where individuals impose excessively high standards on themselves and become severely self-critical when these aren't met. This is often the most recognizable form. Then we have other-oriented perfectionism, where individuals hold unrealistic expectations for those around them and judge them critically. And finally, perhaps the most insidious, is socially prescribed perfectionism, the belief that others have unrealistic expectations for you, which you must meet to gain their acceptance or avoid disapproval. This type is particularly linked to significant mental health challenges. The roots of perfectionism often run deep, stemming from developmental experiences, unhelpful childhood scripts we internalize, underlying anxiety, low self-esteem, or deeply ingrained negative core beliefs. Add to this the very real and escalating societal pressures we face today. Professor Tim Curran, often called the perfectionism professor, highlights a documented increase in perfectionism, especially among younger generations. Academic demands, the carefully curated highlight reels of social media, and increasing economic anxieties all contribute to a feeling that we constantly need to be more, do more, and achieve more to an impeccable standard. This external pressure fuels our internal tendencies, making the need for a practical reset more urgent than ever. The consequences of unhealthy perfectionism are far-reaching. Beyond the constant stress and anxiety, it's a significant contributor to depression, burnout, and the all-too-common imposter syndrome, where success feels undeserved. Paradoxically, the drive for perfection often leads to procrastination, because the fear of not achieving a flawless result can paralyze us into inaction. It strains relationships, hinders personal growth, and creates a pervasive sense of dissatisfaction. Psychologically, it's recognized as a transdiagnostic factor, meaning it contributes to a range of conditions from eating disorders to anxiety and obsessive-compulsive disorders. This is why addressing it isn't just about productivity, it's about overall well-being. So how do we begin to untangle ourselves from this demanding pattern? Overcoming perfectionism requires a multi-pronged approach, drawing on insights from many experts. First, cultivate self-compassion. This is foundational. As Dr. Kristen Neff emphasizes, treating yourself with kindness and understanding, especially when you make mistakes or fall short, is crucial. Imagine how you'd comfort a close friend in a similar situation. Now, extend that same empathy to yourself. Instead of berating yourself for a perceived failure, pause, acknowledge the difficulty, and offer yourself words of encouragement and understanding. This might sound like, "This is tough, and it's okay not to be perfect right now. I'm doing my best." Next, actively challenge negative thoughts and core beliefs. Perfectionism is often fueled by irrational self-talk and deeply held assumptions, like "I must be perfect to be loved," or "one mistake means total failure." Using techniques from cognitive behavioral therapy, or CBT, you can learn to identify these thoughts, question their validity, and dispute them with more balanced, realistic perspectives. Dr. David Burns' work, for instance, encourages us to challenge all-or-nothing thinking and embrace the idea of good enough. For instance, if you catch yourself thinking, "If this isn't perfect, it's worthless," challenge it. Ask, "Is that truly accurate? Is there any value in something that is merely good or complete?" Third, set realistic and flexible goals. Move away from rigid, unattainable standards. Instead, adopt smarter goals, those that are specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. Crucially, build in flexibility. Understand that plans can and should adapt as circumstances change. Break down larger aspirations into smaller, manageable steps. Focus on iterating and improving rather than landing on a flawless final product on the first try. Progress, not perfection, becomes the metric. Fourth, embrace mistakes as learning opportunities. This is a paradigm shift. Instead of seeing errors as catastrophic failures that reflect on your worth, reframe them. Every mistake offers valuable feedback, a chance to refine your approach or deepen your understanding. What did you learn? How can you apply that next time? Think of it like a scientist in a lab. Every failed experiment provides data that refines the next attempt. Mistakes are essential for innovation and true mastery, not a sign of inadequacy. Fifth, practice mindfulness and acceptance. This involves observing your thoughts and feelings about imperfection without judgment. When you notice that familiar urge for perfection rising, or the discomfort of not good enough, simply observe it without judgment. Don't try to push it away. Just acknowledge its presence and choose to act constructively anyway. This isn't resignation. It's a powerful form of active engagement with reality. Sixth, focus on the process, not just the outcome. Shift your attention to the consistent effort, the engagement, and the learning involved in a task, rather than solely fixating on a flawless final result. Celebrate the journey and the small wins along the way. This means celebrating the consistent effort of writing a daily page, rather than agonizing over a Nobel Prize-winning novel. It's about finding joy in the act of learning or creating, independent of the flawless final result. Sixth, make behavioral adjustments. This means consciously reducing compulsive behaviors often associated with perfectionism, such as excessive checking, endless redos, micromanaging every detail, or even procrastination driven by the fear of imperfection. Dr. Ellen Hendrickson often advises setting a time limit for tasks and then stopping when that time is up, even if it feels incomplete. Or consciously allow yourself to submit work that is 90% there, rather than endlessly tweaking for that extra, often imperceptible 10%. Eighth, gain perspective. Step back and consider what truly matters. Will a minor imperfection truly impact your long-term goals or values? Often, loosening the grip of perfectionistic concerns comes from finding a deeper meaning or purpose that transcends flawless execution. Connect your efforts to your core values. If your value is learning, then a perfect outcome isn't as important as the lessons learned. If your value is contribution, then a delivered, helpful, albeit imperfect, solution is far better than an ideal one never shared. Ninth, avoid social comparison. In the age of social media, it's easy to fall into the trap of comparing your unedited reality to someone else's carefully curated highlight reel. Recognize that this often fuels feelings of inadequacy and diverts your energy from your own authentic path. Remember that what you see online or in others' achievements is often only the polished surface. It rarely reflects the struggles, the learning curves, or the imperfections behind the scenes. Focus on your own growth trajectory. Finally, consider professional help. If perfectionism is deeply ingrained and significantly impacting your life, engaging with a therapist, especially one experienced in CBT, can provide invaluable support in addressing underlying beliefs and developing robust coping mechanisms. They can help you uncover the deep-seated fears or beliefs that fuel your perfectionism and guide you through structured exercises to build resilience and self-acceptance. It's an investment in your mental well-being. Stopping perfectionism isn't about abandoning high standards or settling for mediocrity. It's about cultivating a healthier relationship with effort, achievement, and most importantly, yourself. It's a journey of decoupling your inherent worth from your external accomplishments, understanding that you are valuable simply because you exist, not because everything you do is flawless. Remember, the goal isn't to be perfect at stopping perfectionism. It's to consistently choose self-compassion over self-criticism, progress over paralyzing fear, and good enough over the elusive perfect. By embracing these practical strategies, you can begin to loosen the grip of perfectionism, creating more space for genuine growth, joy, and a deep sense of peace in your life. Thank you for joining me on this journey today. Take a deep breath and remember, you are enough just as you are.